want to start with Dynamite first because, the heavier promotion for Blood and Guts. And let's not even start with the likes and the dislikes because I think we're kind of bearing the lead here. I think most people want to know what we thought about this Blood and Guts match, which was very similar to the original War Games when it came to the rules. Like I think the rules were all the same as the War Games. But what did you think overall about this match? Because I will say I love the match, but I can see why people were really, really disappointed in the finish.
Yeah, I liked the match until the second to last commercial break. And once that happened, the match went into a lull. Chris Jericho you could just see him visually just talking to Aubrey, just, waiting for the time cues to do their spot with him and MJF. And I mean, it was like they weren't hiding. I don't know why they had let the shot on him, the hard cam shot on him, just sitting there talking to her. They should have someone should have noticed that and say, hey, don't focus on this because it's just, he's not asking her if this guy's submitting. He's just sitting there on the cage talking to her. And it just really got slow and, just it's almost like they were just waiting, like they were too early with everything, it seemed like to me. And then finally after this, I'm like, wow, one more commercial break? Like, wasn't expecting it. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, that was the last commercial break. And they're like, oh, we're going to be back. And I'm like, wait, how much time is left? I'm checking my timer and I'm like, oh, man. And then, like, during that commercial break, then as I'm fast forwarding, I see MJF climb up and I had to rewind it and say, what happened? I saw Tully, unlock it. And then here comes MJF climbing up and then Jericho falls and they go to the finish, which I thought was kind of silly. Like if you're MJF and your manager opens the cage, like you would probably bail out somewhere else to go into the top, right? And not like Jericho was chasing him. Like all of a sudden he just like gets out and climbs to the top and then Jericho goes out there. And Jericho, like, he must know they're in commercial break because he just keeps milking it with the crowd, right? Should I go up there? Should I go up there? And he didn't realize it's probably picture. So that looked really bad. And AEW really needs to work on their camera production. Like, stop filming guys taking the gigs out of the wrist tape. Stop filming them cutting themselves. A lot of that stuff was caught, which
Well, that's a good thing about WWE not allowing that stuff to happen. You never have to worry.
Well, no, they're really good at that. I mean, WWE is really good at the production of every once in a while they have a moment, but for the most part they're on. If they're going to do that, they protect it. They don't blatantly show a guy cut themselves. I'm sure it's happened, but I remember when it happened. Anyways, then the ending, which threatening to throw Jericho off, and Sammy, concedes, and then he throws him off. And did they practice that stunt at the end? It was a very poorly done stunt because it looked bad. I mean, you can see the crash pad underneath where Jericho landed. I'm not saying I want Jericho to land on the real thing and get hurt. I don't want that to happen at all. I just think like they should have had something where they can say, how's this going to look like when we do it and how are we going to film it? And you could just see it's obviously an obvious stunt, and it kind of took you out of the violence that they set earlier. So in the match. So like I said, I thought it was really good until that second commercial break. After the second commercial, it just went downhill for me.
I liked Sammy Guevara in being like the first guy in the match, because to the people who've been following the story, like he is the key to this entire story. So him being fired up, wanting to fight, wanting to open the show, that was really good. And he was really good in the whole match. Like he was going crazy in there. And they promised blood and guts, and that's what we got. We got chair shots and we got blood and we got pulling the ring mat. Gosh, there was
they did the
Jericho. What did he bring, a bat?
Yeah, we knew he was gonna probably bring his bat, and I didn't mind like Sean Spears bringing the chair, and that's fine. I
chair.
appreciated, he's a chairman, and then I appreciate, hey, if he has a chair, I would expect one of the other side, the inner circle guys, to bring a chair, and that's what happened, which was cool. All that stuff was really good, and I liked. Sammy Guevara did some cool athletic stuff, but God, he can't throw a punch. He can't throw a punch because he didn't, because he threw those shitty forearms, and they just look so bad. That's the problem with a lot of these young guys. They just don't know how to throw a punch, and he's one of them. Like, this is need to be like a big brawl, boom, 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 boom. I know he's gonna do the big old dive over the top, like staying, from ring to ring and all that stuff. But like, once he got in there and he started, gosh, throw those punches, he just throwing those really bad looking forearms. And but I thought things picked up when Santana Ortiz came in. I thought he looked really good. He was aggressive. This is the Santana I want to see.
Those dudes look crazy.
Yeah, they're great.
Like wild.
Cash Wheeler was nuts. He's almost like Buzz Sawyer, like on a party day, like in there, he like just flew in there and did like that crazy clothesline on Santana and everything. Like he was going good. Wardlow had some moments early on, but looked like he was huffing and puffing in there, and things got a little crazy at the end. Him with Hager and him, but like I said, I was enjoying the War Games match, and I like. Here's the thing. I wish they would have done anything outside the cage on the first one. Right? Mm-hmm. Like, this is the first one. I mean,
yep.
Save that for your second one if you're going to do it. Like, I just would like to see a finish here, even if the heels go over. And I expect them to go over after what previously happened with the Inner Circle really kicking their butt. So, yeah. Like I said, it's opposite. It's kind of a weird thing that just never happened before. It's all my likes and dislikes, right? Mm-hmm. So the first part I liked, second part or the ending, it was just didn't do it for me.